Hey guys, I'm Nathan from Arms and Armor. Today I want to talk about two different styles of rapier blades, one of which we call our narrow rapier and the other is called the wide rapier. We'll take a look at how these are different and what they're for. So the first rapier I want to show you is our Bavarian rapier. Right? This is classic swept hilt. It's got two rings on the outside, right? A fore ring and a rear ring, and 3-bar inner guard, nice faceted pommel, pretty faceting on the fore ring. But the thing I want to focus on with this today is the type of blade that we have. So this blade is just about an inch wide at the ricasso right here. And this tapers consistently to a very fine point out here at the end. It's like fishhook sharp, diamond section blade. The blade on this is 38 inches long from the ricasso. And this sword is quite rigid. It weighs about 2¼ pounds, and it was really primarily a thrusting sword. You can cut, especially with the tip out here, to areas like the throat or possibly the inside of the arm. And if someone's just standing there, you can cut them pretty badly, but really, this whole sword is designed for very close point control, disengages, right, around the other person's blade. It's a very refined thrusting rapier. This style of narrow blade is common from really the middle of the 16th century right up through the middle of the 17th century. Right, so classic rapier time period, we have these narrow blades. The benefits of a narrow blade are that it is lighter and has a lot of point control. Right? So this sword is going to move quickly and precisely. The second sword I want to show you, let me grab it here, is our French rapier. Right, so this guy, you've seen a couple of them recently. Right, it has a single ring on the outside paired with a sweep. Right, so whereas the Bavarian has a second ring right here, the French omits the ring and has an S-shaped sweep instead that connects from the knuckle bow up to the rear arm here. This one also has only 2 bars on the inside. You can see that here. Slowly turn it so you can see the geometry on this. Right, this guard is a little bit more minimal than the guard on the Bavarian rapier, but really you have a little less coverage back here on the back of your hand and right here on the front of your hand, but it still is pretty good protection. The major difference here we're going to look at today is that this blade is almost 1.5 inches wide, or 1.25 inches. I'm sorry, it's 1.25 inches wide. So it's an extra 1/4 inch in width up here at the ricasso. This changes the dynamics of the blade quite a bit. This one is also 40.5 inches long, so it's an additional 3.5 inches of blade compared to the French rapier. You can see that it has a real nice consistent taper all the way out to that point in a diamond section, just like the other one, except that it starts out a 1/4 inch wider. And that adds 4 ounces to the weight of this piece. And it really is much more of a cutting side sword than the narrow rapier is. It just has a bit more mass to it that wants to come around, right? Which is useful, right? If you thrust to someone, they offset your blade, maybe in a hanging guard, that lets you come around and cut them to the side of their face or their neck. You can see the peen here and the peening block. This sword behaves substantially differently just by having it be a few inches longer and a 1/4 inch wider here at the ricasso. Now, we could build a hilt like that one with a wider blade on it, but it'd take a little bit of engineering, right? We balance these things out so that the pommel is correct, so that the entire weight of the sword works correctly. It's also nice and rigid, but it is a bit more cutty than the narrower rapier blades. So if you've ever wondered what's the difference between narrow and wide rapier blades, there you go. Take care. Thank you.